Gotta set the camera a bit better. So if you saw the last video, or if you didn't, I just gave kind of an overview of May for me. Basically, very shitty in my opinion, but there's some good things at the end, like getting the job and whatnot, feeling a bit more confident about getting a driver's license and all that. College, though, not so well, but you know me, all my videos are just me shitting on college and me going there, venting about my experiences. God, if only I could have the neat lifestyle, like have Asian parents and they don't give a shit what I do, and I can just leech off them. If I knew that was the case, I would be happy 100%. Let's be real. I suppose I could just like apply for disability or some shit. I don't know. Inheritance, This is why, you know what? Bit of a tangent, but like, I feel like if college matters so much, then why is my dad constantly like, oh yeah, Spencer, you can get like over $5 million I have saved. And keep in mind, that's just my money, and then there's your fucking grandma who's gonna die, so that's probably like a crap ton of money from there, right? And all of that. But you gotta care about college. You gotta care about that. Anyways, this was the one section of the last video I wanted to do. Hold up, I'm just trying to set this camera up so it's a bit better. So, last video I spoke about all of that, but the thing I wanted to say was a bit more of my just I guess my social life or my personal life from this point. Before it was actually going quite well, and there's some good caveats in May. I was watching anime with a guy, with some friends of mine. Very fun stuff, very good. But if you've seen some of my older videos, you know that I had an ex. And I've been thinking about, re-uploading that video because I found some new stuff I can put in, so make it more complete, if that makes sense. But if you remember from that, essentially she cheated on me the whole time. I didn't know that. I freaked out about it. I should make it more detailed. So, we met online, we spoke for a bit. She showed me she had an NSFW Twitter account that she was ashamed of, but she wanted me to know about it. And she was like, I'm going to go take it down. And I'm like, cool, take that down. That's good, Duh. You'll see where this brings up later. Then we're just dating for a while, and I can't believe I trust myself to do an online relationship. Those are just awful. And then me and her, we spoke, and keep in mind all private stuff, but you'll see how this doesn't become private later. She cheats on me around November. I don't know about it because she keeps it a secret from me. Eventually I started to kind of tweak during December because of a lot of depressing shit happening. And the fact that she's not even there to even talk to me at all. And we almost discussed it for a few times about breaking up. And I just really didn't want to break up. And she wanted to. And I wish I did. But I didn't. And you have to remember, I still didn't know from this point, I only found out she cheated like right after all the scandal like broke off. Which is pretty bad. And at some point, I just tweak out and say, like, to some friends of mine, like, hey, I feel so depressed. I'm so fucking angry that, like, this person's not reciprocating with me. And I'm, like, I'm in love with them. They're not fucking, like, treating me with any respect that I give them. I've been waiting for them and all that. I feel abandoned. That's what I said. I felt fucking abandoned. You can't mind, this girl has fucking BPD and all this other fucked up shit or whatever. I don't know why. I knew those people. I know those people were fucking insane. Yeah, I still allowed myself to be a victim. Jesus. But like, she gets angry at me for, reasonably getting angry about all this and having a genuine like how do you expect someone not to freak out and go kind of mad, from all the shit that's happening to them? I explained to her about everything. Then she stops talking to me. She goes to all of my friends. She leaks a bunch of shit from us that came out was all private. So now basically almost most of my online friends, at least in that type of group, that friend group, you could say, because there's different friend groups, but mainly that just that one. They saw all the shit that me and her were doing, but she would cherry pick some screenshots and some stuff, right? Um, and I was really backed up into a corner, and the only way I could do it was do basically a pyrocynical and just leak fucking everything just to prove my innocence, you know, and showing all the shit that she was saying about everybody else, and how she absolutely like lied about some of the claims about me being a quote unquote predator, and saying something like wanting to see young photos of her, which in every DM exchange, I never asked her I never specified the types of nudes that she could send to me. I never specified that. Um, in fact, I would, tell her that like she can send nudes if she wants to. You know what I mean? I don't want to force it onto her, right? And God, like sometimes she would send them to me unprovoked, Like I'd be in class, I look at my phone notification from her, the fucking picture of her tits or something. And I didn't complain. I never complained. Maybe it was a bit kind of scary, opening up in class, but it's like I never complained. I never complained about getting stuff like that. And I never asked her to. Um but it's and this is the worst thing too. I feel like, coming clean about all of this just to protect myself, try to actually protect some of my image. In retrospect, I feel like it never really helped. Are you sure some people don't view me like an awful person, right? But still, people still that same friend group, they still know that about me, and it just feels awful, man. And I just felt more depressed after all of that, especially after finding out in February, because the whole thing ended in January. Later on in early February, I find out from from a girl that basically spoke to my ex about everything. She was like, "Oh yeah, no." She was talking absolute shit about you. She was cheating on you, all of that, yada yada. Since fucking what, November or something, late November. And I fucking heard more, because I didn't even know she was cheating. I just thought, I don't know. It's crazy in that same friend group of people. Keep in mind, I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to make this into a gendered thing or some gender war, stupid sex war shit of ooh, male victims aren't taken as seriously. Because it is true, a lot of male victims are taken seriously. I definitely think I fall into that category. But I feel like no one cares about victims. No one really cares about them. Unless it's by some famous YouTuber that did something fucked up. Or it's the type of abuse or the type of shit, type of psychological shit that you can go through sometimes doesn't matter, depending on what type of friends you have. And these friends are fucking cool, but they joke about the shit that happened to me. And I know I can say something, but and I've tried to, but it just never works. That's just how they view me. They always mention it, and it's like PTSD. It just fucking shoots back into my head. I feel like I just feel so fucking violated. I feel fucking awful. God, I don't even want to cry. I don't know. You know, if I would look worse on camera, I'm not even sure. um, you know, and it's like it's like such a private, like vulnerable shit, and it's just out there, you know. I always knew that was shitty for so many people for that to happen, but like I've never like firsthand like felt what that's actually like. You know what I mean? Like they describe what it's like, but you don't know how it feels. You know, if it doesn't happen to you, you know, and it did. God, I don't know. And this is like texts and stuff like that. Just stuff they said between me and her, whatever. It's awful. And they try to, and they still, and they guess what? And they still go about it without trying to treat me with respect at all. Yet they feel the need to mention that shit all the time, mention all the fucked up shit that happened to me. I would never bring up shit about them. I would never bring up like super sensitive shit about them. Yeah, they go bad like it's fucking nothing. Like they've ever had anything, like just do it like it whatever. They None of those people I feel have ever had any true pain in their whole fucking lives. They might have had it, but at least nothing fucking leaked like crazy to all their friends and shit because of some stupid, crazy, ungrateful drug addict bitch. I might have proved my innocence or whatever, but you know, in the end, I'm still fucked. I'm still fucked in the head. I don't even know what my ex is even doing. I think she's probably like dead now or some shit. She's probably like. I wouldn't be surprised if she overdoses or some shit happens to her. And even then, I just don't care. I don't want to do anything with her. I thought about just re-uploading the last video because I just don't want anything to do with her. I just feel about removing it at this point. There's no point keeping it there. And it just my real life friends aren't even that bad. They have shown more empathy towards me, but they feel more cold because they're less around me and I feel more abandoned. I'm just in a fucked up scenario where I can never really rely on my own friends at all, knowing how much they're going to be there. I'm kind of dipping back into the idea of just not caring about my friends anymore. I guess with my IRL friends, I don't much hate them. I actually kind of regret saying all the awful, hateful things I said about my own IRL friends. Because realistically, they're saints. They're better. They had their own lives, and I was selfish and was thinking about myself too much, maybe. Online friends are just awful people. I don't care about these studies about how, they're actually, online, they have more empathy than real people. More people online were more likely to be nicer and stuff. Or, internet communities are so nice or whatever. Like, all that stupid shit. Despite the fact there's all these, like, internet fandoms or communities are just hateful and toxic. They fucking, like, attack people for the smallest shit on the planet. you know, and it sucks, like, because I don't know, I really don't know who I can, like, speak to after this, because, like, some of my other online friends are barely even online, or really even that interesting, you know, but mainly the ones that are barely active are, like, the best ones. like I don't, and I can try going back out to the realtor, try speaking to people, but everyone's like already in their own cliche. I'm kind of just left out. It's hard to make friends when you're 19. I don't even know what I can do. Even the worst part too, it's just, now I have gotten more used to just being lonely, and I actually kind of enjoy the loneliness I have, but at the same time, it hurts my head because I'm expected to hang out with people and have friends and speak to people because that's apparently the normal thing that our culture indoctrinates us into thinking. There's days where there are days that I think about just there are days where I just think about I should just fucking leave this world in any way I can, like escape the world or kill myself. That one's better too. But that one's way harder. It's like being a crack addict and trying to get out of it. That's what it feels like, to be honest. I don't know who said that, but people are like, "Oh no, don't kill yourself. Life has so much meaning." Like, shut the fuck up. Your life is different from every other person. Okay, not everyone's like you, and not everyone has the privilege to be like you. Okay, and just because your life is quote unquote better than some third world like person in a fucking bombed out country, okay, that doesn't mean I still feel like shit and still want to die. Okay, that should be freaking obvious. I just keep on thinking about how I should even go about doing that. For a while, I guess with the videos here, I wanted to like document my life before I did something like that, just like die. Um, Personally, I just thought about also like making videos about everything that's about me and just really like give people like tell people who I was, try to leave a mark that I existed or try to understand everything and why I did what I did. Okay, not in the school shooter way. No. But like just like understand that I was a person too, that I had my own life, I had my own experiences, I had my own childhood. I had everything, Cuz that's something people don't like have. No, that's a thing that a lot of people don't. That's a lot of people lack. And I was hoping that maybe I could just record everything, detail every single thing about my life ever, every detail, every memory, every experience, everything, and then die in some way. Maybe even live stream it or something, probably. And then maybe if people, because I know that's gonna fucking like go viral immediately because it's a fucking guy dying on camera, right? Whoa. They would also just get to know that someone like me was real. Someone like me was a person, and try to have people maybe have more empathy or have more understanding and be less of a fucking miserable piece of shit asshole. You know, maybe me dying would basically me dying would spread a message, not like a bad message, like a good message in a way where people can really think. Like people can really think about how they treat others in their own lives, how they treat about themselves, what they realize the actual damage of their actions really do, you know? But even then, I'm not even surprised that some people don't learn anything from it and they're just like, oh, look at the video of a guy dying. It's so crazy. Wow. Funny. Haha. Crazy. I'm so sad. Because guess what? I would accept that too. At least I got something out of it. At least I scared somebody. Maybe I did. Maybe I did scare somebody, made their day a bit more terrifying. It really wouldn't matter to me because I would be dead. I would be in another plane of an existence. I'd be in heaven. Probably not hell. I don't think I did anything to deserve going to hell, except apparently suicide sends you to hell, the Bible. But I'm sure enough good things I have done or have tried to do will re-mead that. Like, just, it would be better than that. Because all my life, I've just been like a sort of a people pleaser, but always like the best term would be people helper. I've always tried to help people as much as I can. I would always just turn shit away just so I can help people, just so I can feel better, or know that I made somebody feel better, or that I made my friends happier. And despite them not giving shit back to me, and I would rant about this in my videos, I just I feel like the fact that it's in my nature that I'm that nice to people, that I'm not willing to do stuff despite some of my mind telling me no, I feel like is a good thing in a way. You know, it's like kindness, but I have to do the fucking nice person skit, just like everyone to step on me like a doormat. And that's the stuff I never liked. I never liked being a doormat, I was willing. I just wished those people would in particular would treat me like a person. Okay, I just messed up what I was saying. I'm sorry if none of you got what I meant there. But I don't know, it's just from everything I've been seeing in the world, how everyone in my life has been, all of that, I just don't see a reason just to keep going, I do definitely want to live a few more, like a year, maybe a bit more. But if there's just like nothing to like get forward to, whatever that means, like the next movie, the next game, next piece of media, next adventure, my parents, all of that, friends, internet friends. If most of that was just gone from my life, or just nothing good on, or just the world being shit, I mean, I might as well just go off with a bang, like just die. Or if I just feel angry enough at enough people, maybe, I'm not saying I'm going to, just like fucking kill a bunch of people or something. I don't know. Before you guys get concerned, if something were to happen, it's probably just gonna be me. I'll be honest, because no goddamn way am I just no fucking way I'm going to waste all my time trying to end the life of another random person who has nothing to do with me and just end them. If I were to end somebody, it would probably be somebody who has done nothing but just shit to the world. So it wouldn't be like it'd be bad or anything. But even then, they wouldn't be worth the time of being killed, They themselves can just get themselves killed them, They can just die on their own. Someone will do the job, right? But the option of taking someone out, I guess it's just myself. Yeah. And it's very fitting that the video is having the lighting that it is, because it's just dark out. It's like there's light outside, but it's getting dark, and it's been raining, so it's all gray. Because that's how I feel. I feel gray. I feel neutral. I don't know. I've been trying so hard to cut off. I know I'm just throwing another sentence. I don't even care how long this video is. This video might even be the longest video on this channel, even. But it's like it's a glorified fucking therapy session. Um, I have tried. I have tried so much on severing my connections with certain people. I know that's bad. But with the certain people I mentioned earlier who, even though they know that like I've been victimized and shit, I'm probably, I was doing absolutely awful. They know the type of shit that might be going through my brain, all of that. Yet joke about my fucking situation like it's nothing and just do all that shit to me. It's like they have one to talk like some of them haven't done other more deplorable shit. Legit, what was it that happened to me again? I had I had stuff of me privately leaked for everybody to see. And people feel the need that they can just joke about that and just joke about my own traumatic experience of that shit. Meanwhile, they have the fucking galls to say like, "Oh, it's not that bad, man. Actually, some fucked up shit happened to me when I was actually younger from this other guy or something, or ooh, this other awful thing happened to me, blah blah blah." It's like that's not gonna change how I feel, man. Okay? Alright, just because something probably like gosh, like I agree, like pretty freaking bad happened to you, that doesn't that doesn't justify that we're on the same page, okay? I still feel like shit, you've moved on. Okay? You're stronger than me. It probably didn't even affect you that much if you were able to move on and then just openly talk and joke about it all the time. But then you feel the need that also applies to me somehow when it clearly doesn't. And it's so awful every single time they mention that traumatic shit. I just have to like shut up. Like I can't say what I want to say because in my head I'm just so angry, pissed off, just thinking of shit. I actually one time I legit just kind of said something I shouldn't have said. Not saying I shouldn't have said it. It was like my anger kind of a bit spilled out of me from hearing that shit, of them just triggering that. And God, none of them once tried to understand why I reacted that way. But it's awful. It's like anytime they just say that shit, it's like what do you say, Just like hearing them just say all this stuff about one of the most like psychologically just damaging traumatic shit that happened to you, and they're just freely saying it to you, questioning you about it, all of that. It's like what do you say? Like what can you possibly say to that? But back to cutting people off, it's like I've been just thinking about cutting like most of my friends off because I feel like most of them aren't really helping me. I don't I don't see why everybody's always talking about having friends and how friends help and all that stuff. Because to me, friends just seem to be a thing to waste my time, to be honest. They barely, most of the time, my IRL friends are barely there in my life. They have the galls to ask me to come with them a few times every once in a 3 month span or even longer. God, I can't even imagine. I remember having this one guy from college and elsewhere always just wanting to talk to me, always wanting to hang out, and I would just get drained. I don't know how anyone does that. Or having all these online friends where, to me, even though online it's more private, so it's like, oh wow, you'd think you'd be able to be more free to people, be more willing to say stuff because it feels safer, because you're behind a screen or whatever or whatnot. or they just don't know anything about you. It still feels like you need to play a character no matter what. You know, no one really sees me for who I actually am. People just see me through a fucking biased lens on their own perspective of me. You know, I have, and to be fair, I mask a lot, so no one really knows what I'm like. Because if I actually spoke to them seriously, like if I seriously spoke to them, they would realize that I'm very quiet in real life. Um, I'm fucking miserable, sad, depressed. I barely, like, that's like happening to me, like, most of the time. I'd just be sounding like a stupid, whiny shithead all the time. That's boring in general, you know? Nothing really happens in my day either. Yet, I don't even know how they would even feel if they saw that side of me. Or if they even find this channel. I don't even care if they do. Because this is everything I do want to say to them, in a way. There's times where I just hope that, like, my friends die. I just hope sometimes my friends just fucking get killed. Or they fucking they die by some weird means. Like, I don't know, they fucking drown or get hit by a car. Or or if they have guns or a fucking knife, they just end it. Whatever. It is to like those friends who just like treat me absolutely like fucking shit and have the galls to still say that they're a friend of mine and all of that. Or the fucking galls to still hang around fucked up people who have done awful shit to other people and have ruined the lives of other people as well. Like doing shit like traumatizing them, spreading around shit, revenge porn, all that stuff. Even owning like illegal shit, by the way, and still have the galls of being in the same communities as them online. Which fucking like baffles me. It twists my head. I don't understand. And I especially hate when they're friends with other guys where they're people who hate me for absolutely no reason and they barely even know anything about me, but they fucking hate me apparently. For whatever reason, for vague reasons like he's annoying, he's stupid, he's weird, he's whatever, he's that, he's this, he's that. And I've never done anything. I truly haven't fucking done anything. I haven't done as much shit than they've ever done in their whole lives of just making things more miserable and shitty for the average person, for anyone. And I can't even believe that, like, this is gonna sound so pathetic. Just like dedicating like some of my time. I couldn't say what I was gonna say, but I still can't believe that like I dedicate all my time, all of my life to like communicating with these people all day long most of the time, because all my IRL friends are like off doing whatever, they aren't even doing shit anymore, or they just don't care about me because I'm just not a main friend. I'm just a fucking thing they can drag around as an extra. But fucking they just I just can't believe I just have to spend my time talking to these people, even though they're even more pathetic or just more douchey, the more shitty And there's only a few good ones, you know? And you feel like you'd be accepted in these communities, and they try to make you feel this way, but they don't. They don't. Once they can find one embarrassing thing about you, they think it's a funny meme or whatever. They think it's so good to just do that. I can complain all the time about all this, but it just doesn't matter. You know, that's just the rule of the internet. It's like once some shit gets out there, you're just fucked forever. And I've realized that rule. I just didn't think it would happen to me. It feels quite bad. Um, I'm hoping that. Uh, but there's just nights where there's just days, and I've been having this recently. My sleep has just been awful after getting my job and everything. And I just wake up at these absurd times, absolutely random times. And I just like wake up, I just look at the ceiling, and I'm like, does it matter what time it is? The next day is gonna happen. It doesn't matter. And I just continue looking up at my ceiling. Anyways, that's just what I wanted to say about my social life and my experiences with that. It feels way better airing that out now, and I can get back to feeling a tiny bit better. See you guys in whenever there's a next few videos. Yes, yeah.